Big news of the day is that Steve Bannon has been pushed out of the White House by President Trump. He's no longer an advisor. That took the markets well off the lows. We're showing you this picture. It's from January 28th when President Trump was on the phone with Vladimir Putin. And we want you to take a look to the right. Start on the right. General Michael Flynn, former national security advisor, he's gone. There you see Sean Spicer, used to be the White House communications director. He's gone. Steve Bannon, now gone. Reince Priebus, chief of staff, gone. The only two left, President Trump and Vice President Michael Pence. So there has been major turnover. Remember, this is just less than 7 months ago, this photo.
All right, let's go to John Harwood. John, you've got some thoughts on where Bannon might go from here. And Michelle was saying just a few moments ago, Bannon on the outside may be sort of just as fractious as he was on the inside.
Well, that is exactly right, Tyler, and maybe even more so. We expect him to return to Breitbart News, which had been his platform before he became Donald Trump's campaign chief executive. But a Breitbart executive just tweeted out #war. And what that suggests is that if, in fact, Steve Bannon goes back to Breitbart and is not constrained by the need to play nice within Donald Trump's White House, you can expect that he is going to use his platform to go after people like Gary Cohn and others that he considers, too liberal or moderate on certain issues or globalist on certain issues from the outside. And the challenge is Breitbart and the base that it speaks to has a lot of influence not only over President Trump, but also over members of Congress who fear primaries against Republican opponents. And so it's possible that he could break more China outside the White House than he does inside.
He's pretty harsh in person in the White House. When I read that, the most recent interview he gave to that magazine, John, I mean, he names names of people within the White House. It's really, really startling how strong he is. I mean, unless you believe that he had submitted his resignation on August 7th and he knew he was going to be out, then you read that interview and you say, that's his exit interview.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you can read it that way. Oftentimes, people within the White House, if their fate is uncertain, they might prepare a resignation letter, but not hand it in. So we don't know what exactly Steve Bannon did, whether, in fact, there's an August 7th resignation letter that was given and declined by the president, or something that he had sitting on his desk to use as cover whenever he was leaving. But that doesn't matter all that much. He's clearly been pushed out by John Kelly, but the views that he expresses are shared by President Trump on many issues, and he may be able to express them more vociferously on the outside.
John, I want to go back to something you said right at the beginning of this piece, which was you had noted that a Breitbart editor had tweeted out one word, #war. Now, that is Joel Pollack. He's not a Breitbart editor, I don't think. He is the editor of Breitbart's California reporting. So he's a writer for the California side of Breitbart. Well, to follow up on that, and this is all happening right now, by the way, folks, the national editor for Axios, Jonathan Swan, just said on Twitter that he's been told Breitbart is going, quote, thermonuclear. So this is important because the Dow has now dropped. The Dow is now negative again. And I wonder if what we're seeing now is a reaction that, according to that word, war, and according to what Axios just reported, that there is now going to be a fear there's going to be a renewal of hostility between Bannon, or some hostility between Bannon and Trump, which could damage the administration even more or damage the legislative agenda. But
well,
this is pretty amazing.
Brian,
war. One can only assume what this guy means.
If you have, in fact, a multi-sided fight in which the White House is not only interacting and dealing with divisions between itself and Republicans in Congress, but at the same time, you have a two-front war, and it's defending itself, depending on what direction it goes policy-wise, against Breitbart, you could have a chaos and a complete meltdown of the legislative mechanism at all.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.